Okay, so we have the 8 types. Let's try and understand what they all actually are. Okay,
Okay.
so starting with thermal energy, this is maybe the most obvious one. All right, thermal
Okay.
energy, what actually is it?
Is like uh everything which has heat has a thermal energy store to contain the heat,
Good. Yeah, good, good,
or
good.
just but also like I'm pretty sure thermal energy stores can also be negative, whereas to store cold.
Because it's really cold. Yeah, good. I don't mind it. I like the definitions. The actual definition is quite weird. Okay. A
Okay.
thermal store of an object is the energy that an object has because of the movement of its particles. Okay. Let's just have a think about this. The hotter something is, the faster its particles move.
Because it has more energy.
Fantastic. And it's more energy in the thermal store specifically. Okay,
Okay.
so just to pull it apart, temperature is going to tell us how hot something is. The thermal store is telling us how much thermal energy it contains. Do you think those two are going to be directly proportional, linked?
Uh, they're gonna be linked. I'm not sure about directly proportional though.
Yeah, exactly. Great. They're very much linked. And finish my sentence: when our temperature increases, what happens to the thermal energy store?
Our thermal energy store also increases.
Yeah, fantastic as one goes up.
Increases in energy or just expands. Would that work?
It's going to increase. We're going to phrase it as increase. The amount of energy stored in the thermal energy is going to increase.
Okay.
Okay, question. And this is why it's not kind of necessarily directly proportional because there's other impacts. Why does a bath have more thermal energy than a hot mug of tea of the same temperature?
A bath has more volume.
Good. Excellent. So what can we say about the particles?
The particles there are more particles in the hot bath, although they move at the same speeds. Because there are more particles, there is more energy.
Good, fantastic, absolutely. So we have more particles that are moving, crucially, so there's going to be a greater amount of thermal energy in that bath. So is this, do you see how there's these differences in temperature and thermal energy there?
Yes.
Good. Okay, nice job. Let's jump on to kinetic.